Tune in Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. UTC time to watch the Sandstorm stream live here on YouTube or over on Twitch. We are joined with Nick from Guild of Guardian. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I don't own any of the NFTs or the skins. You know, I see that they are currently sold out on the website, but I actually have been, doing some research on the game, and I'm actually pretty excited to try this out.
We've closed off 3 waves of Founder Edition NFTs. They're all sort of exchangeable and tradable on secondary marketplaces now, but it's good to hear that you're keen to chat with you about it.
Is there is there going to be like a wave, like another wave of NFTs that you guys release before the game actually comes out, or no?
So not Founder Edition NFTs. So they were the equivalent of an early adopter series, or however you want to frame it. But the goal was to try and get playable in-game characters, unique Founder Edition samples of those into the hands of the people who are in the community early. So
yeah,
we kind of prioritized getting them out with some haste, and so we did three waves of that in the last sort of 6 months. And we closed the last one actually about a fortnight ago.
Give me a little bit of a background on the project.
Guild of Guardians it's a multiplayer action fantasy RPG. It's basically like a dungeon crawler, and the goal of the game is for people to build a dream team of guardians, heroes, and then compete in a guild. And competing in that guild gives you the opportunity to earn some really cool rewards. The reason why we started this, and we're published by Immutable, which is making a lot of noise in the crypto space and the NFT space.
Yeah,
for what they're doing.
Less the gas fees.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big win. And developed by a gaming studio called Stepico Games, which is based in the Ukraine. And the idea was basically formed around the concept of in-game ownership. So a line that we used from the beginning was that the ownership or in-game purchasing of assets in games was like a $90 billion industry in 2019.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, that's bigger than music, that's bigger than movies, it's bigger than those two entities combined. And despite that, no one, I mean, speaking outside of anomalies or outliers, you had no ability to do anything with those items. You didn't actually own them, right? So you were paying for something that was trade locked. It was digital, but not, you didn't have verifiable ownership of it. And, let's say that you're an OG Fortnite player and you had a suite of Series 1 skins, Season 1 skins rather, that you bought for 200, 300, 400 bucks, whatever it is. They would be worth a pretty penny right now as the game matured and the ecosystem grew. But Epic Games basically puts that money in their back pocket and you can't really do anything with it. So I guess that's kind of the motivation for how this game started. And we saw a massive opportunity within the play and earn gaming space. And we were really excited about building an accessible product that put that ownership and put that power and gave it back to the players. So they're kind of the two sides. You've got the game itself and then the reason why we started. The game's been in development for over a year. We're super well funded, and we're going to basically change the way that gaming is done. We're pretty confident in that.
So tell me a little bit about you guys' like play to earn model. I know the game is free. First of all, like how do you earn from the game, I guess?
I mean, there's a number of different ways to earn. I think that the first thing to note is that bit of a giveaway in the title of the game, but Guild of Guardians basically is we try and encourage the co-op element of playing in teams and playing in groups. So the way that works is we sold founder guild tokens.
I saw those. Yeah.
And so essentially ownership of that gives you the access of playing or owning a guild of players. So they're different tiers. Different guilds give you opportunity to take a certain percentage of profits or sales of items that were crafted by the guild as a result of completing dungeons and battling bosses and doing different tasks. So that's a really interesting gameplay loop and a really interesting economic loop that we're excited to sort of facilitate and see how that matures. But basically, our play and earn mechanics lend itself to a very, very deep and sustainable economy within the game. So players can play for free. You start the game with common heroes. If you don't want to buy in pre-sales, you don't want to buy on the secondary marketplace. The goal of this is to make play and earn gaming mainstream. And so you can't build a price barrier to entry on that front. Yeah. And that's where a lot of games have failed because it does become pay to win. Obviously, buying heroes, buying certain items before the game goes live gives you the opportunity to play with characters or items that have certain stat buffs that gives you the ability to access content that others might not. However, the game is free to play, and you can earn from playing as a free to play player without investing a cent into the ecosystem. It's very important to us.
Compared to like the free to play, and then someone like purchasing either like an epic or mythic character, is there different advantages as far as like earning? Like, do certain characters earn more than other characters?
No, so so different heroes and different levels of hero have different stat buffs, right?
Yeah.
So like a rare hero is going to have slightly better stats than a common hero, which is fairly standard gameplay mechanics. In terms of heroes or things or items making more than others, it's actually not something I can speak to because the meta is undefined. So it's as in like, you sort of have rough ideas about how you think different synergies will work and which heroes will work better with other heroes and why that's a result. And you can look at, sort of historical RPGs and see, all right, do I want a healer on my squad? Do I want a group of tanks? And this is the reason why. So again, it comes back to the fact of us not saying, hey, for you to do really well, you want to have these 2 healers, you want to have this tank, you want to have this synergy and this pet. It's like, we are going to basically provide the ecosystem the opportunity to go and dictate the way that they win. And like any good gameplay mechanic and core gameplay loop, you need to keep the product evolving and facilitating the needs of the consumers.
So I know the game, it's launching on mobile, right? And it's only mobile?
Yep.
You guys ever have any plans to like do like a desktop version of the game?
No, not at the moment. Like never say never. To quote my favorite artist of all time, Justin Bieber.
It's a PvE game, right?
Yeah.
Like RPG
so
PvE.
You're battling bosses, basically.
Yeah. So any plans on doing a PvP?
Yeah, it's always hard with jumping on and talking on stream about this stuff because you don't want to commit to anything because things change and tech changes and ideas change. But we do definitely have we definitely have a motivation to build that element in, for sure.
You have a partnership with NRG. Is there any other partnerships that you guys have coming up?
Yeah, so we've got so one of our strategic advisors, or who we're sort of partnered up with, is Ubisoft, and we lean a lot on them on the sort of game design and sort of gameplay loop front. Obviously, they're one of the big hitters in the space. We've got a partnership with NRG Esports. So the context of that is basically we've built a fully playable in-game hero branded with the NRG logo. And we're excited to be doing a partner drop with them. It's their first ever crossover into the digital NFT and asset space. So we'll have a sale for that going live quite soon. We are actually just finalizing the date in HQ at the moment, but that is imminent. And I guess the cool part out of that is that people can buy their first NFTs. The goal is to sort of onboard some more mainstream gamers out of those communities and those ecosystems.
So someone in chat actually had a question and wanted to know if you could speak a little on community development and like token rewards and how contributors will be evaluated and rewarded.
Yeah. So, I mean, this goes back to the GOG token, which doubles as in-game currency. So GOG token basically ICO'd on CoinList about a month ago. We had an 82 times oversubscribed round, and it was a very, very, very hotly in demand token sale. We have a fully circulated supply pool of 1 billion GOG tokens. We sold 6% at a public sale through CoinList, but we have set aside, or as per the tokenomics in our white paper, 63% of the total supply pool, or 630 million tokens, are purely set aside for basically community rewards and kickbacks and in-game earnings. So like a real lion's chunk of the total supply pool is basically put aside as a war chest to reward players and users within the ecosystem. So in terms of going to the nitty gritty or being more granular about the details with content creator and stuff, there will very likely be incentives, and we're sort of working out how this is going to play out. But we've had internal conversations around, we want to incentivize people to talk and spread the word and spread the passion about the project and the game and their experiences within the game. What we have announced and what people do know is that there is a massive, massive chest set aside directly to reward and incentivize people who do good things for the game and the project.
Tell me about hero merging.
Yeah. So essentially, hero merging is like in GOG, there's going to be a set of never sold heroes. and they can only be merged. And so players can play for free to earn common heroes. Those common heroes aren't tradable. They're not tradable on secondary exchange.
Mm-hmm.
But what players can do, and this goes back to the original earning loop that I spoke about, players can then merge multiple heroes, and they then become a higher and then tradable rarity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that means players can then play for free. They work their way up to owning legendary heroes. So an example of that is merging 5 duplicate rares into 1 random epic hero, which is cool because that people then also get that gacha experience of going back and having like RNG of which hero I'm going to pull here, which I've grinded to earn this base set. I am now going to go and merge. What am I going to get? And that's another little just like intricacy within the environment of earning and getting cool stuff and building a cool player experience.
And then I did want to talk to you about the guilds because I saw, like you said, there was like 4 different tiers of guilds.
Yeah, so I'll give you a spiel about guilds because I probably haven't done a good job of explaining how they work. But our big thing is we want Guild of Guardians to be a multiplayer game. As we said from the beginning, like gaming is more fun with friends.
Yeah.
And we do want to facilitate the ability to play solo, but we also believe that the game will be more fulfilling and rewarding for people playing in a multiplayer capacity. And so what we've got basically is like players who want to earn big and collect it, all the items and complete the game, we believe will want to join a guild.
Yeah.
Guilds allow players to group up. It allows them to then go and attempt the hardest and most rewarding content in the game, craft items for sale on the marketplace. And then on top of that, guilds also offer players access to game modes that are only accessible to guild members. So those game modes will basically give players an opportunity and an avenue to show off their best heroes, fight the strongest enemies, and earn really unique and rare rewards. Going back to what you said about the 4 tiers of guilds. So again, we sold them in the Wave 1 founder sale. You got an Adventurers Guild, which is the base level. That can have up to 20 guild members. And then the guild owner or the guild leader gets a guaranteed first cut percentage of any guild crafted item that sells. Anyone. So for an Adventurers Guild, that's a 1% first cut. For a Warriors Guild, which is the second tier or the tier up, that's 30 guild members and you get a 2.5% guaranteed first cut. For the Legends Guild, it's 40 guild members and it's a 5% guaranteed first cut. And then the Mythic Guild, which is the most expensive, can have 50 members and then it's a 10% guaranteed first cut. So you build a ladder, and then essentially what happens is an item sells, there's a cut taken, and then the profits trickle down.
Will you guys ever sell any more guilds? Because I noticed they were all sold out.
Short answer is we've reserved the right to release further guild tokens. They won't be founder edition, so it's just on us to, I mean, obviously if we scale the game to 50 million users or 100 million users, then of course we're going to need to come up with a system that basically allows people to own guilds proportionate to the player base. So short answer, yes, we reserve the right to release guild tokens in whatever form that looks like. But no, they won't be founder edition because we want to protect the assets for people who are here early.
Say I got on and I had no friends who played and nobody wanted me in their guild. Like what does my experience look like? Like what's it like, I guess, not being in a guild? You just can't do certain quests and stuff?
Yeah, no. So again, going back to it, the fundamental thing to remember is that this is a free-to-play game and it is for solo and team member games, right? Like you will have an enriching and enjoyable experience if you are a solo player and you have no interest in being a part of a guild. We'd certainly encourage people to make their way into guilds. And I think if people are part of the ecosystem, long-term, they're going to have no issue finding that ability. So there are already DAOs and different gaming companies that own guilds that are recruiting. Like it's been really interesting to see how some people do it and how different bodies are doing it. Like there are people offering $1,000 US referral bonuses for recruitment of really elite mobile gamers. You've got in our Discord, we've got a guild recruitment channel. Basically, people are in there all the time. Hey, I've got this guild. My time zone preference for members is APAC. Message me if you're interested. So like, I think that for every guild that's owned, there's going to be 20 people at least, 30, 40, 50, who are going to need to fill those spots.
Tell me about the pets that you can get.
It was interesting. Pets became sort of like a really sought after and quite hot topic in our Discord. So pets are basically creatures that you can buy into your team and they give you various benefits from a utility standpoint. So for example, you might have increased crafting resources. You might have an increased dungeon reward rate. You might have an increased item drop chance. And so we sold these during the wave sales, or the last wave 3. And basically, players get an equipable pet that they can take into a dungeon. You've got like worker pets, scout pets, and hunter pets. They come in different rarities, and essentially they give you an increased opportunity for X within that dungeon.
Say if you're not part of a guild, but you wanted to, could you still play with like 4 other solo people?
Undetermined at this
Undetermined?
point. Yeah, we think we've got the best mobile NFT gaming product on the planet at the moment. So we're excited to sort of lead the charge on that front.
Someone in chat mentioned that they were building a social hub in Sandbox. Like, are you guys
Yeah,
doing anything in Sandbox?
yeah. Shout outs to Tomahawk. He's really like just an excellent creator. We sort of gave him a community grant to go and start building like a GOG hub or like HQ in Sandbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually got a partnership with Sandbox. I forgot to mention. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
executing on that after NRG. So we've got NRG coming, and then Sandbox is what we'll sort of shift our attention to. But there's like that's actually a really exciting partnership with them. We love what they're doing as well. Jump in our Discord, follow us on Twitter, and for the GOG family who I see in this chat who have been with us for a year now. Thank you for your continued support, and we will keep lifting from here.
Thank you very much for coming on. Guys in chat, make sure you guys are following the stream. Follow GOG on Twitter. Join their Discord. Join the Sandstorm Discord.